Hi, this is Lisa at Lisa's Sewing Shop. So today I had this happen. This is my main foot A for my 9450 Janome machine. And you'll notice there's a little piece down here. I broke the tip off of this side of the foot. I was working on a jacket for a police officer, putting patches on his jacket, and my machine didn't like it. So I did this. So I've ordered a couple of new ones to replace this, but they won't be until next week. So here's what I did. This one I was afraid would get caught on fabric, especially I've got bridal gear I need to work on this week. I didn't want it to snag on anything. I put what I call a straight foot on my machine. It kind of looks like the old school feet. There is a slot in the middle and there's a hole right there. So you can't do zigzag or fancy stitches. You can only do straight, forward and back. But for most of our sewing, that works pretty well. The thing I do like about it is that it's all metal. So I'm going to be using that for a day or two. If you see that on there, that's what that is. So let me get everything switched around and I'll be right back with you. For our free gift that we're going to learn how to make today, I had this piece of scrap blue jean material left over. I was trying to find out something I could make with it that I could give away. So just so you know, this is 6 inches wide this way, and it is 13 inches long total. So 6.5 by 13 inches long. I've got it pinned around here, and I did my double red pins up here because that's where I'm going to leave it open so I can turn it right side out. Let me sew that real quick. I'm going to sew around here just like we did on my other video, and I'll be right back with you. Like you've seen me do before, I did a 3/8 inch seam here and over here. Down here at the bottom, because it was already a fold and it wasn't cut and it's not going to ravel, I just did a 1/8 inch seam right there. I'm going to cut my extra threads off here because you guys have all heard me gripe about not leaving loose threads on your projects. The other thing, just like you've seen me do before, the corners, we're going to cut at an angle. That way we get the extra bulk fabric out of the corners so we can turn it right side out and it doesn't get all puckered up there. So see, now we've got all that extra fabric off there. So I'm going to turn this right side out and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I've got this turned right side out, kind of. I got my wood stick, the one with the point on it. Now I'm going to go up in here, and on these corners, I'm going to push them out so they're nice and sharp, neat and clean. There's one. Now we're going to do the other one down here. Get that one all pointed out there so it looks nice. There we go. Let's do this side. That one's way tucked in there. Okay, let's get that one. Oh, there we go. Nice. I think you can see that. I got one more over here on this side. Okay, there we go. A little bit more on that one. There we go. Okay, now, nice, neat, and clean. Now, just like before, I did 3/8 inch on the sewing, so I need to turn this under 3/8 inch and press it. So I'm going to take care of that, and then I will be right back with you. So I've got my wool pressing mat out here. I got my little miniature iron right here. And I'm going to turn this under 3/8 of an inch And I'm going to press that down. Watch your fingers, don't get burnt. There we go. Now, let me flip it over. And let's do the same thing on the other side. And if you can, let me turn around here and look. You can see this is the one I just did. This is the one I'm doing right now. Let me get this one turned under here. There we go. Now, I'm going to push these both together so that those little creases that I just ironed line up together right there. And I'm going to press it again really nice and hard. Give it some pressure. Press down. I'm going to press the other seams around the edge here. Get everything nice and pressed. Make sure the seams that we sewed are all poked out. They're not like tucked up inside. Make sure everything's nice and straight, neat and clean. Let me turn it over. Let's do the other side. There we go. And I think that corner needs to be poked out just a little bit more. And as you sew, and you will start noticing stuff as you press and work that, oh, I could have done that better. It's okay. Just stop right there, fix it, and go on. Nothing wrong with that at all. Okay, there we go. Now, you can see there's our little square. Now, this is where our opening was, where we turned it right side out. So what I'm going to do next is 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. I'm going to top stitch all the way around the edge. And then I've got the top stitching done all the way around the side. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try something new. I want to put a zipper in this so I can have a little half-size pouch. So what I'm thinking of is if I fold it like this and my zipper goes across the top. That's what I'm looking at. I'm going to look and see how this needs to go. I know that it's too long. I can, from that little clip right there, that's the end of your zipper up, I can pull the tab down, sew this in and make this shorter. So what I'm going to do is, this is the side that I thought looked the nicest on my top stitching. So that's the one I want to keep out. I'm going to put this, let me see if I can get this closer for you to see. I'm going to put my zipper like this. So the coil here will be exposed. I'm going to sew right on top of my top stitching, right there, to hold that side of the zipper in. Let me get that done, and I'll be right back with you to show you what. Okay, so that took me a few minutes. This was a little bit more difficult than I thought it would be, but it's because this is a very tight area to get my foot on my machine inside to get that sewn. But we got it done. I had to take my stitches out a couple of times because I got them crooked, but that's okay. We got it done. When I got the zipper put in there, then I sewed top stitch down this side. That is where I tucked the tail of the zipper in there. So that is all sewed in. Now on this side, this is what normally would be where the pull tab is here. Okay, it's obviously too long. So what we want to do is we want to get our everyday scissors. Don't use your good fabric shears. And cut off all but about 3/4, I think you can see that, of the zipper. You've got your pull tab back here, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to very carefully pull the tab up a little bit, not all the way, because you don't want it to slide off the end. we're going to tuck these tails down inside here, and I am going to do my best to match up these two side seams and top stitch right down them, and that will hold these tails in, plus it will close up the end of the little pouch. So give me just a minute. You can see I'm fighting with this to get this to lay like I want it to, because I'm being picky. I want it to lay exactly right. And I will, there we go. And I will be right back as soon as I top stitch this and get this tail totally fastened in there. Be right back. Yes, I had to go back, take it out, and do it a second time. These little side seams, when you're trying to get everything tucked in, they're not difficult to do. They're difficult to hold in place. And they're a little too thick to put my pins in. If you have any of those sewing clips, that might work a little better. So now you can see, here's the zipper on the top of the little pouch. There's the inside. You can see that. So for myself, will probably use this for some business cards, or some change, or some little teeny items, whatever I need. If I give it to somebody, they can use it for whatever they choose. But I think for not having a pattern and creating that on the fly while we're recording, I think that turned out pretty good. Hope you like that. Totally out of scraps, zero cost. Hope you like it.